Hey, Kevin, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Jason. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you on. Tell us who you are, what you do.
Yes, my name's Kevin McGrew. I'm the CEO and founder of Stratagos Growth. We've evolved into a demand generation engine agency for our clients, but came out of the full service digital marketing world over the last 15 years.
Awesome. And how did you get into the digital agency world?
Great question. The question everybody gets on this show. Um, Usually everybody's stumbling into it. I kind of came with an intention. I founded and sold six businesses, or three businesses out of those six that I started, and I realized that marketing was a key indicator of success for founders to understand, not be the marketers, but really understand it. And so I exited. I had some capital and money, and I really wanted to help other businesses grow. And so we started out as a social media marketing agency right when Facebook kind of came out. There was no Facebook business pages. So we were like a Sherpa for people wanting to climb Mount Everest. And we never stopped. Ads came out. We became really good at it. Google ads expanded, their algorithms changed, SEO, everything was happening in the marketplace. And it's, as you know, fast moving and never ending. And I just thrive in that environment, primarily probably because of my military background, but I just need that frontline energy.
Yeah. Well, things are moving so quick. I literally just got off a mastermind call a little while ago with our members, and we were talking about something, and someone was like, "Oh yeah, we just started doing open AI ads for our clients." I'm like, "Wait a minute. I knew they were talking about that. When did they roll that out?" They were like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then we were talking about doing like artifacts, and then someone was like, "Oh yeah, Claude Financial." I'm like, "What's that?" And I thought
Right. Yeah.
I'm up to
You're on
date
top of
on
it.
all.
Yeah. You're hearing, you're on the front lines and you're like keeping up. Exactly.
And I'm like, "Holy cow, like it is switching so fast. I've never seen things change this fast
No,
ever."
I have not either. I have not either. I just was talking with somebody the other day, and I had to explain an analogy. Most people are just not there, keeping up. Our clients, at least. And the analogy I use is we took the red pill of the Matrix, so you don't have to, basically. And so, yeah, that's we got it. You got to be operating and touching it too, because it's a lot of hype out there too.
Oh, well, there's this one guy on YouTube that I follow and for AI. And like I like his videos. And then so I was like, well, I'll jump into his school community
Right?
for 57 bucks or some stupid
Sure. Check it
number like
out.
that.
Yeah.
I get in there, I'm like, this is complete utter crap. Like your
Right.
videos are so much better. So yeah, it's kind of like, oh, so disappointing sometimes.
Well, you've heard the term AI is going to replace marketers. I hope you've heard the
Oh
term because,
gosh,
right?
those people are idiots.
Right. I mean, well, I don't want to say right. I mean, a lot of people believe it. And even in our industry, I get a lot of people, agency owners that I network with and stuff going, bro, I just don't see a way out of this. And I really give them a clear answer to that. There's the hype camp and the panic camp, and you can't be in either.
No.
You got to be in the middle, and you got to know how to be an operator of AI,
Well,
because AI is not going to do it by itself.
no, yeah, there has to be a director. Like,
Exactly.
many months ago, I started feeling the same way. Like I got on that hype train, and I was believing the bullshit that people put out
Yeah.
there. And I'm like, because I would see, like, I would watch their videos and see what they're able to produce. I'm like, wow, like that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Or, I would literally go in, and a lot of our websites are built in AI, like the design, the animation, like like stuff I would
Yeah.
have
It's pretty
charged
impressive.
a lot of stuff for.
Right.
And like I was geeking out, nerding out. But then I started thinking back. I had to direct that, just like I had to direct my designers back in the day because that was one of my favorite parts, was building these
Mm,
big websites and
yeah.
being that visionary for it.
Right.
But then I'm like, a normal person, yeah, they could do an okay website, but they don't have all that logic and all that those things to tell it what to do. And until I started experimenting with AI, then I'm like, oh, all I have to do is be one step ahead of my client. That's it. And that's what I
Right.
tell other agencies, be one step ahead. That's it. If you get too many steps ahead, I've seen it where you
Yeah.
overwhelm and you confuse the hell out of your clients, right?
You nailed it, bro. I call it the 10% rule. We teach that to all our employees is all you have to know, is 10% more than the person you're talking to. Doesn't mean stay there. It means like get your ass in gear and be better next time. But stay ahead at least by 10%. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the framework that's really helped you over the years? You were starting to explain that to me, and I didn't want to go too much detail before I hit record because I was like, this is good shit. Like,
Yeah. Well, I found frameworks like I was in the military. I was a Navy. Right out of high school, I joined to get out of Dodge. I grew up in Southern California, and everybody I knew was surfing all the time. And
such a hard place to grow up in
I know.
California. I mean,
I
come on,
didn't
like
know when you're from
most people are
there,
trying
you're
to
like,
get
it's
there.
like Disneyland, like I literally go hang out at Disneyland all the time. But I just had this feeling I was going to get stuck there and I had to escape. And so I joined the Navy. And man, it was a wake up call. And I was not prepared, to be honest. I was very, kick back, laid back, not a lot of discipline. And what I learned is in chaos, what impressed me the most about the military, Jason, was sitting in the Combat Information Center when literally Cold War, Russian ships and aircraft are coming at us. And you're looking around the room, everybody's calm as you name it. And that just
Why is that? Because they know exactly they've trained for it, or they know exactly what to do.
frameworks, and we train for it. We drill, baby, right? And so it's confidence. Like a Navy SEAL. You see a Navy SEAL in action, you're like, I can never do that. It's just they've done it so many times. They are super confident in everything they do.
Yeah.
And that confidence I was a very insecure kid growing up. I didn't have that built in. And it was a skill I developed and being an entrepreneur, employees freaking out, clients leave, whatever it is, you're calm, cool, and collected, and people will follow you in those situations. And so that was the first thing I learned is by having frameworks, you can fall back on those when the chaos is there, calm in chaos. And so I leaned on frameworks, whether it was to replace my oil in my car for the first time. I was like, how do you do this? Kind of thing. Right. And so I developed a framework I recently developed it after about 20 years, but it came originally from that military training. It's called SMAC. It stands for shoot, move, adapt, communicate. And I built it not just for me, but for my employees, but also for my clients, because they don't generally understand how to operate. And it's really about being a SMAC operator, really.
So go over what SMAC means and how it relates.
So shoot is we have limited ammo as businesses, right? And so a lot of people are spraying and praying, and they're running out of ammo very quickly. And so whether it's ads, SEO, wrong keywords, I mean, you name it, they spray and pray. And it's natural. You don't want to engage with the enemy. You want to figure out what's going to drop. And a lot of times when you spray and pray, the things that drop are not your ICPs, your ideal clients. And so shoot stands for really understanding your target package. We call it in the military, understanding who's your ideal client. So when you're looking through binoculars in a mass of noise and people, you can spot them very quickly. And then you pull the trigger, basically. So it's very sniper approach, and understanding your audience, your industry, your competitive landscape. We do all that first. And then move is being agile. We don't stand around very long in one place because the enemy has way more ammo than we do. And so we got to shoot and then move. And so moving includes positioning, knowing where you're going to move to, right? Okay. understand your positioning as a business. Where's your white space? Where do you stand out in the crowd? And know how to get there quickly. Adapt is for data driven, basically. Is in the military, we never just shot missiles because we felt like an airplane was coming at our fleet. We would send out a aircraft, we called it CAP, Combat Air Patrol, and identify friend or foe, right? Okay, now it's flagged as enemy. We line up, target it, shoot, and hit it. And so it's based on data. So you got to have your data points built in. Google Analytics, Google Search Console, pixels, understanding first party versus third party pixels, all that kind of information gives you have this ability as a small business to have that. You just don't. And so you're operating blind. We don't do that. And then communicate is we had protocols for every type of communication. Enemy, you're getting near our ship, whatever it was, we knew what to say before we had to say it. Same should happen for a business. You should prepare in peace so that when you go to war, you have arrows to pull out of your quiver right away. And so that's right messaging at the right time instead of scrambling to pull it together.
Yeah. No, I'd like that, because it's all about focus, and you're constantly moving and using all the information that we have, and especially now, one of the things I was asking the mastermind a little while ago, I was like, do all of you know who are your most profitable clients and which ones you're actually losing money on? And only one of the members was like, that spoke up was like, well, I have a report that we created in AI every month that runs. And until I had that data, I could make informed decisions. And I even think back at when I ran the first agency before we started doing time tracking, I was losing money on 60% of our clients.
Wow. Yeah.
60%. But I was extremely profitable on the 40,
right,
which made us profitable. But then when we could actually go, hey, I'm losing money on these accounts, now I can make the right decision to communicate to the client, be like, hey, dude, like, Kevin, we're losing money on you. I can't have that. We're a profit company. We're doing a good job. Our price is going to be this. And
it's the confidence to say that. Yeah, absolutely. Similarly, if I could add on to what you just said, we just went through that. Most marketing agencies today are activity-based agencies. We were for 15 years. Hey, I need SEO. We jump in there. I need paid ads. Hey, and we're good at it, but we're kind of pigeonholed there because we need to do landing pages very quickly for our ads. Well, we're not. These guys are in control of the website. Everybody's pointing fingers at each other. There's no throat to choke, we call it. Yeah. And so very activity-based marketing is the way it was in the past. COVID changed everything. COVID flipped how people buy because they're much more skeptical now. They don't trust the government. They don't trust their doctor anymore. They don't trust the media. The big things that people
don't trust
agencies, they don't. Yeah. Everybody's been burned by an agency. I feel like a lot of times with my clients, I should send them a bill for counseling for the pain that agencies have caused them.
Yeah.
But yeah, all that being said is we had to kill, or not, we had to we just are in a transformation right now, but we went to all our clients and said, here's the new model, and we're taking off the chains. We're the one throat to choke, and we want to be able to do what we want to do for a retainer. And, but we can do it a lot more affordably. Literally, it's about half what we would have had to charge a year ago because we went all in on Iron Man model, human-led, AI amplified, and trained people hard on that. And so we call them SMAC operators. All our employees are SMAC operators.
How did so for what I'm going to assume by the Iron Man model of what you just explained, just so people don't kind of brush it under the cover, I'm going to say you have your regular team with systems to follow using AI to make them like Iron Man. Is that correct?
Well, no, AI is changing, as you know, very quickly. So to answer your question, quick no, What it is operate. What are the responsibilities? Operator in the suit, I call it, right?
Yep.
If you look at Iron Man, the suit by itself is junk. It's a heap of metal, right? It needs Tony Stark in there, right? And so the same happens with AI. AI is the suit. Research and synthesis, that's what it's responsible for. We can do what used to take us 2 days to do, we can do in 8 minutes. We've built a SMAC Intel audit, highly trained audit. We push a button. It's a McKinsey light go-to-market strategy, basically, right? 8 minutes is how long it takes. First draft production. If we're doing content, the AI does first draft, but we need some, they're not responsible to the client for trust.
And it will lie to you.
It'll lie.
Yeah.
We developed a tool internally called Red Lens, Stratagos Red Lens. And because we say that AI has rose-colored glasses on, it always thinks its first draft, and it's so impressive as a human to see what it's coming up with so fast. So we buy into that. We've used Gary Klein's post or pre-mortem. I don't know if you ever heard of, he wrote an article in Harvard Business Review back in 2007 on this, but it's called a pre-mortem. You know, you look at a post-mortem, what failed. By doing a pre-mortem, you're questioning AI and what's going to fail based on your current. So you're anticipating the future. And by doing that, it's educating our team at what they missed, because it's popping up. AI catches its own mistakes and goes, oh, we missed this. We're talking to the wrong audience. We're starting the conversation at the consideration stage, not the awareness stage. You're like, I didn't catch any of that, right? No. So that red lens is literally a button that we push after we inject our campaigns created, and it comes in as a skeptic and questioning everything. And it's given all our team BS meters. So we don't trust AI anymore because we've seen it mess up enough.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like, having that AI or that the human layer into like the managing of it and the dictating, right? Like, and I always look, and I was speaking at a conference a little while ago, and I always said, look, AI is as dumb as today as it will ever be. Mm-hmm. It's only getting better and better. And because a lot of times, people will go into ChatGPT or wherever, right? And they'll ask it a question without giving any context to it, any information, and be like, oh, this is crap. I'm like, well, if you gave that same thing to a person, you would have got the same crap anyway.
Right.
You have to invest. That's why
I've been amplified.
And I've been showing people, I'm like, look, I don't know if, I guess it's an operating system. I more created a kind of a file structure that AI always looks into for the context of our case stories, our testimonials, our frameworks, our content, our wikis. And then I even created a decision layer in the file structure that I can connect any AI model to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So
it's agnostic of the model. Exactly.
Exactly. Right. Like, there's a lot of people trying to build like, oh, just this application running on your computer as the operating system. Like, well, yeah, you could do that. But like, I kind of like having just this file structure where I send codecs to, or Claude or Gemini or whatever to, and just show my team. And right now it's limited because it's local, but I bet next week
there's going to be something. Yeah. Well, have you heard of, we won't go into it, but check out Obsidian. So Obsidian.
Yeah, I use that as a brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've used that as a knowledge graph. We call it. A lot of people call it second brain. Yeah. And every SOP, everything, it's for, just like you would call it a skill for Claude. We've developed the SOPs for both the agents and the humans. So it's the same thing, but human read and human led. And so what I tell my team, my clients, is the suit doesn't have a conscience. The operator does.
Yep. Yeah. A lot of agencies right now, the owner is the one really kind of leading the charge in AI.
Yeah.
And that's good for a certain amount of time. And like I was joking with the mastermind a little while ago, like Darby was telling them a story about, I created this AI agent for the podcast to streamline the
He
podcast
told me
for
about
us.
it. Yeah.
And I did it for Stacy, and then I deleted it from her. I was like, you go build it.
Right.
Because I want them to build this. But a lot of agencies are struggling with getting their team to buy into wearing the suit because they feel like it's cheating or it's going to replace their job. How have you, like, what's worked for you to get your team on board of this?
I've been struggling with that for about 2 years, to be honest, because I'm a doer. Not everybody's like me though, kind of thing, right? And that's the problem with agency owner. You're thinking of all these things. You're a visionary and you want everybody to do it like you would do it. But the reality, reality is you have to create a system that works at the lowest common denominator. Somebody who's new, they come on board and they will be up to speed just like somebody who's a little bit more adaptive. And so we created an onboarding system, and it's updated by an agent. We have trained an agent that is getting all the latest and keeping that system like Claude Cowork. Now we got you can learn Claude Cowork very fast in our system, not just go read Claude AI. And that's what I was doing before is it's out there. Go read it, learn it. They don't take it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming for everybody. So we have a philosophy internally called crawl, walk, run. If you start running as a child, you're going to fall flat on your face. Like I have a burn on my face here because now I'm getting too old, but my grandkids were running around chasing them yesterday, and I did a face plant on the ground because I was running too fast for what I was capable of. Right.
Yeah.
And
so fast grandkids,
they are fast, man.
Or you're just freaking slow.
I'm getting old, bro. I still think I'm 20 until I look in the mirror, man. I go, shoot, what happened? But back to crawl, walk, run. We anticipate people need to crawl first, and we make sure they're masters at crawling. This is what Navy SEALs do. Honestly, I've reversed engineered this from elite teams. And basically you learn everything at the foundation layer so you can stand on that. That's your new ground. The ceiling is your new ground. And then we walk. Basically you're learning how to apply it now. It's not just theory. You have to apply and get credit for applying it. And then your operator mode, you're jogging. Sprinting is when it's just all natural. Second, what do they call that when you don't even think about it? It's
you can't sprint forever. Like
you can't,
but I
exactly.
can jog forever.
Right. No, 100%. Everybody tries to sprint to keep up with the FOMO and the hype, right? Yeah. And you're not going to be able to do it. It's not
you're going to burn out.
Sustainable. Exactly.
I always tell everybody that the first way, and this had to work for me. I had to figure out, where am I putting most of my time, or where am I the biggest bottleneck to the organization? Mm-hmm. And then how can I implement AI or technology to relieve some of that, to give me back some of my time?
Right.
And so then when I started doing that for myself, I started realizing, I was like, all right, how do I show my team this?
Right.
How do we run an exercise in order to figure out what their biggest bottleneck is? And then show them that you're capable, kind of like I was explaining that story of Stacy going, all right, well, here's all the workflow that happens now. So how can we condense that for you? Where, and literally like Stacy and my team use AI all the time now. And they're like, I feel like I'm cheating. I'm like, you're just getting more efficient. And it's because human beings with the best technology always win. If you look back
100%
from the Stone Age to the Bronze Age to now that's why all the world leaders and stuff are trying to race to the AI. Like that's where it is now versus I guess we won't get political, but all the stuff going on now. But it's just figure out the biggest bottleneck, show them how they can use technology to get a little bit more efficient. And as soon as they get that taste,
yes,
then they're hooked.
It's all about we call them micro moments of awesomeness. We need 12 to 15 micro moments of awesomeness to own it ourselves. It's like small little, micro doses of something that makes you feel good. You're going to now do it or seek it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Give a little hit, and
Yeah,
they'll be
right.
addicted. They'll
Well,
be
what we
coming
saw,
back.
like in our research and synthesis, for example, we've always been strategy, research focused, data focused, and so we used to use mind maps to build out all our competitive and industry and local, regional assessment, basically before we went to war. Kind of our war plan, we call
Yeah.
it. And so that we dedicate in our planning 2.5 days of people power, right? We have built that now with help of AI, obviously, because it can do a lot of the gathering of that information very quickly. Go and scan Reddit and grab all this information. We have a McKinsey-style go-to-market strategy in 8 minutes. Literally, that's conservative. It's 2 to 3 minutes most of the time. And it's not, again, we don't just we now add our strategy, our knowledge onto that for an hour. And now we have ingested all that. We own it as the strategist.
Yeah.
And we're able to amplify the direction of the use of it, because AI will send you on a lot of wild goose chases to go with it. And so that's just one example. We do that for content production. We got rid of all our copywriters and we went and hired editors. We still have a strong dependency on editorial of the content created by AI, but it's human, because humans are accountable to the client. You can't just say, well, the AI wrote that, right? And which everybody does. And then QA and consistency checks. Nothing launches before we run it through our QA. And we have agents that we've created that are just highly trained on quality assurance and red lens. It uses our red lens framework to break it apart before we spend the money.
That's
and then
awesome.
reporting narratives, you know about this, easily 2 hours to prep a report for like a monthly report for a client. 20 minutes now, because we know what we're going to do. It gathers the data and then even gives a narrative now for the reader. And the clients like it more than sitting in an hour meeting getting the download, kind of thing.
Well, I mean, what I did last year is an agency would send me a report. I would just put it in ChatGPT. Explain this report like in 4 minutes, like I'm a kindergarten, because like I don't want to look at a spreadsheet.
Right.
Or like my bookkeeper would send. I don't even use a bookkeeper anymore. I have AI do all that. Like, but the roles, like everything is evolving, and we all need to be evolving with this. And so, if I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing the framework, sharing what you guys are actually doing, and for everyone listening, the biggest thing I want to tell all of you is just start small with yourself and your team, and you got to evolve, figure out that biggest bottleneck, just do one little thing, right? But I do like the framework of like the shoot, move, adapt, communicate. Yeah, that's awesome. So and for everyone listening, if you guys enjoyed this and you want to be a part of something bigger of other agency owners where we get together on an ongoing basis and really do it together rather than doing it by yourself, everyone go to agencymastery.io. Check that out. And until next time, have a swank day.